the tears were coming down, you know. And those moments, when you think that this was brought on by a tape recording and a stuffed doll, that we have achieved something really exciting.
Tichenor was born in Decatur, Alabama in 1923 and came to live with his Aunt Ruby Tichenor in Tennessee when he was a very young child. From his earliest days in school, he was encouraged to use his imagination, an encouragement that paid off long before he was grown. Tom's first marionette was made for a class project at the Tarbox School, the show, The Boyhood of David Copperfield.
My mother was a firm believer in we'll help you to do anything you want to do. And I was lucky that way, that they didn't say, oh, get up there and do something else. They just let me kind of feel my own way. And the teachers all through school made me do art projects. And one day I got my nerve up and said to one of the teachers, why do I have to do this? It meant I had to stay after school and do some more things and all. She said, because you know how, that's why, so do it. I ran across a photograph not long ago in a box of old pictures, and it said, Tom, Warner School, age 7, grade 2. I had painted this, well, in the picture, I was painting this big stone bridge, you know, for the 3 billy goats grew up to go trip, trap. And there I was painting it. And the thing that surprised me most, when I looked at that snapshot, I said, good grief. I was painting dark shadows underneath the stones and light gray highlights on top of the stones in this bridge. Now, the teacher surely must have coached me in that, but there I was shading at that age. And I think it was partly because everybody in the family, my brother, my cousins, and all, drew. They drew constantly. And, you know, when they could have paints, they would paint. And so I just fell into the groove, you know.
Tichenor's relationship with the public library began in 1938 when he staged a marionette performance of his own version of the classic Puss in Boots. Tom was 15 years old. As he worked his way through Hume Fogg High School, writing and performing shows for children's parties and other gatherings, he volunteered his talents at the library, becoming good friends with the librarians and, of course, with the children he entertained. Soon, Tom began working for WSIX Radio, writing and producing his own series, Jerome the Gnome, and was well on his way to an established career when World War II broke out. He joined up in 1943 as part of the Army's Special Services Corps, bringing movies and stage productions to soldiers in England, France, and Germany.
In World War II, I was put in special service, luckily, and we had a company show with an orchestra and everything, as well as showing movies and all that thing. And I had to make the costumes and remake them constantly because soldiers are not very careful about costumes, especially when they're wearing girls' costumes. And it was a constant job of keeping the show going.
Upon his return to the States, Tom attended college in Pennsylvania, then came home to Nashville to study at Peabody. The Public Library of Nashville signed Tom on as a part-time staff member in 1947. and he began the splendid regular marionette productions that many generations of Nashville children will remember forever. At the same time, he began writing and producing Wormwood Forest, a WSM radio series that would air coast to coast for 2 years. In 1950, when WSM TV signed on, Tom was there in good form, clowning and writing and making puppets come alive on camera. In 1957, he began commuting 4 days a week to Memphis to WKNO TV, where he became the children's director and produced regular programming for this educational station. His Poindexter series was aired on stations all over the country. His schedule, all this time, still included his work at the Public Library and WSM. He also was writing plays for the Circle Players and the Children's Theater. Poindexter has been on television. I can remember Poindexter on the WSM afternoon television shows. I think of all of your characters, he is my favorite, and I believe he's yours.
Funny thing happened, not on the way to the forum. He was getting so threadbare, and I had to do something very drastic. And he did what many movie stars do, had a facelift, a complete overhauling, as it were. And the first time I put him on after that, he was like a puppy. He was full of spirit and frolicking around. We're very much alike. Really, that's true. That he sort of thinks the way I do. Now, Felicia Philmouse is, she's a little busybody, you know. She wants to stir things up, keep things going along, you know. I just float along.
In 1961, Tom Tichenor went to Broadway. Gower Champion, the director of the new musical Carnival, fell in love with Tom's puppets and offered a vital part in the play to Carrot Top, Renardo the Fox, Horrible Henry, and Marguerite, puppets that Tom would create and endow with personalities of their own. Tom's creations were a stunning contribution to Carnival. The show had a most successful 2-year run. In 1964, WNBC TV in New York asked Tom to do a daily children's program, Birthday House, and Tom enjoyed 3 years at this anchor station for the NBC network. When the show was canceled suddenly in 1967, Tom knew it was time to come home to Nashville. The Public Library was thrilled, of course, to have Tom back. All of Nashville would gain from his return to the thrice weekly puppet shows and the amazing marionette shows that are synonymous with the Tichenor name. Tom's skill, patience, and a sense of humor shine through every moment, from concept to script to scenery to marionettes and production. His meticulous attention to his craft has earned him national renown.
I won their hearts. I tried to approach each show as if this is the most important thing in the world for the next 35 minutes, and not let my mind go wandering about, oh, where is that other prop now? Where is it? And the minute you do that, if you've got one on stage, it's sagging, and you've got to be right there with it. Laughter, of course, is the most fun, and it's the easiest to bring on. But I've always felt that a little sadness sometimes is something very special. And we don't want to leave them crying, but when a marionette can convey this much emotion,
I'll push you again.
I feel like we've achieved something.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
You stepped on my toe.
You stepped on your toe, eh? Well, I'll step on your other toe.
I'll fix you.
Oh.
Now get out of my way here. Oh, I'm so hungry. I could eat a mouse.
Yeah. And I could eat a squirrel.
I'm so hungry I could eat a mouse stew with a squirrel in it.
Yeah. With a squirrel in it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm cold. I'm so cold, my goosebumps have goosebumps.
Yeah, we need to find some firewood, or we'll freeze.
Yeah. Hey,
What?
did you see something over there in the river?
Yeah. What is that?
It looks like an old chair over there.
I'm going over to take a look.
Gee, I can't let them get the little red rocking chair. I know. I'll bite this mean old robber. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, what's going on?
You hit me.
I did not hit you.
You did so hit me.
I did not. If I hit you, it'd feel like this. Ow! Ow! Yeah, and if I kicked you, it'd feel like this. Ow!
Ow! You hit me again. I'll fix you, you rascal.
Oh, yeah?
You.
Oh, yeah?
I'm so cold. I'm cold and I'm hungry.
When you have a well-knit
Maybe we can find
crew,
something that
you know, that everybody's in tune, that is 3 people and sometimes 4,
How are we gonna get up there? You burned up all
somebody can help you.
Well, we needed wood at the time.
And it's
well, come on.
really a partnership thing. Everybody has to watch everybody because, you know, what's that old saying, if anything can happen, it will. This is one of the reasons why not an awful lot of people go in for marionettes, because it's not easy. But when you pull off a nice little bit with a marionette, it's a marvelous feeling. You feel like they are acting at last.
Over the years, Tom has written 5 books, appeared in movies, done consulting and design work for television and stage productions, produced shows for the community at large, become active and involved with Cheekwood, and has conferred with dozens of aspiring and established puppeteers from around the country. All this, and the library, too. His 1988 retirement from the library marks 50 years of Enchantment, from that first production of Puss in Boots to the most amazing and unique theatrical legacy this part of the world has ever seen.
Nashville needn't worry about the quality of the shows.
So the shows will continue then.
Yes.
Will you come back and do a guest performance once in a while? I hope so.
If I'm asked, maybe. No, I don't want to put any strings on the shows. It was more like a slipcover job. Throw a kiss.